Street Fame Podcast. We back for another episode. I've been through a lot, so I had to take a little break for a minute, but I've been staying busy with other things. But we back. Um, we got a few things we're gonna talk about. First thing I want to talk about is the Pooh Shiesty and Kodak situation. Have you heard about that?
No.
Okay, so what's going on right now is that Pooh Shiesty is a new artist, kind of new, blowing up real big, real fast. He won a Gucci artist signed to the 1017 label.
Okay.
He said, well, Kodak, everybody know what Kodak is, but Kodak having an issue with Pooh Shiesty because I guess what it started is that Kodak was saying that he influenced a lot of these rappers because he had the whole little put the money on the arm, and he said he kind of came up with that. And I guess Pooh Shiesty felt like he came up with it first.
Okay.
But the situation is, in my opinion, I like Pooh Shiesty, not to take nothing away from him, but he just came out like 2020. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas Kodak, even if he was doing it,
He been out.
you know what I'm saying, he wasn't really on the mainstream big enough audience to like say that I'm the one who got everybody doing it. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I just feel like in this situation, Kodak is right. I feel like it's not a smart beef to have. I feel like it's dumb. So I feel like hopefully they work it out and get on the same page as far as it's petty to me. But I mean, in my opinion though, as far as Kodak is like he one of the GOATs. And I feel that way because I feel like Kodak put the whole Florida back on.
Okay.
In another way because I feel like after Kodak got arrested, a lot of Florida artists like blew up. And I feel like he did influence a lot of people in a lot of ways. So I feel like he right. I just feel like it's just not a smart beef. I feel like I hope nobody don't get hurt over.
Yeah. I really, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Over,
Definitely
I was
not.
the first one to do this and you wasn't. You feel me?
Yeah.
And I know Pooh Shiesty was saying something like, he tweeted something like, he don't do no talking. Like when he don't he was saying something like put the phone down. Like I get it for real. But I'm like over something so small.
Yeah.
And we keep losing rappers. Speaking of rappers that's losing, we lost another rapper in Atlanta over All-Star Weekend.
Who was that?
His name was Trill Chucky. I think Trill Chucky. He was from out of Texas. I heard a few of his songs in the past because I listen to Texas rappers, but apparently he was there for the All-Star Weekend,
Oh. Okay.
and he got shot in Atlanta.
That's crazy.
Yeah, so to me that's pretty
Was
sad.
he shot and killed? Or
Yeah, he did.
He was
He
killed.
gone. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. His name was Chucky Trill. And basically, yeah, he got killed. And from my understanding, he was there to make a performance.
So they knew he was gonna be there.
Somebody apparently, I don't know all the details of who shot him or what happened, but I do know that he was there for a performance, and he got killed. So,
My opinion as far as the whole Kodak Black situation is I love Florida rappers. You know what I'm saying? I would never say anything negative about a Florida rapper. My female perspective is that Kodak has said a lot of negative things about black women. So I'm not ever going to give him a pass on that.
okay.
But I love Florida rappers. So it's like a double-edged sword with Kodak. Like I'm
Gotcha.
happy he's out. I hope that he's made a change is my main thing.
Well, there be in his defense, not for the stuff he said about women, about black women especially, but he is young. He like mad young, and a lot of stuff he said, I feel like it's just, from a young guy perspective before he even went to prison, like he was like 20, 19, you know what I'm saying? So I don't know how much of that represents who he has become or he will become. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
He a kid.
Yeah.
You know
I
what
mean, he's still a kid. That's what I'm saying.
Well, I'm
like,
saying he's a little older now, but a lot of stuff he said, he was like 19, 20,
Yeah.
a young kid. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if I take it seriously because sometimes people have a certain opinion at a certain age, and then as they grow and get a little
they
older,
learn. You know better. You
or
do
they
better.
learn that just the way you say things sometimes, it ain't what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
And they learn to not really, do that. You know what I'm saying?
True.
So before we got started, you asked me something about B-Raz or something.
So the whole thing is with Raz B
Raz
from
B,
B2K.
Raz B, okay.
Remember him? He's the light-skinned gentleman from
I know who you
B2K.
talking about. Yeah.
He has a short haircut. So his he was on Hollywood Unlocked and on another podcast or whatever, talking about his sexual molestation from Chris Stokes.
Okay.
And Chris Stokes is a predominant director or producer or something like that. I've seen a lot of his movies. They're on Netflix, on Hulu and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
So he's still getting money. Yet there are accusations that he has molested young boys. I think that sexual allegations, domestic violence need to be put at the forefront as far as things that we, or at least it has to be something that we actually talk about, because it is real and it affects real lives. Like for a man who gets molested or a young boy who gets molested, it changes his life. So it's really important. And I think that the whole situation, how it came out on that platform and how it's being basically right now, even though it came out years ago, now it's being promoted and it's being talked about. So I think we should talk about it too. It's just a situation where black people, I guess 1 out of 4 or 1 out of 7 black people, like they say, the statistics are that 1 in 7 black people have been molested. And it's something
I wasn't one of them, just by the way. Go ahead. And
it's something that changes lives. So I think that, it's something that needs to be brought to the forefront. Maybe once we talk about it, we can get over it.
I feel like it take a lot of heart for him to come out. And I mean, I commend him for doing so, because I feel like even just, being a guy being molested by a guy is something that a lot of people would keep a secret. Mm-hmm. They ain't gonna come out and say that. I mean, just the community he was raised in, the way he was raised. But I mean, it take a lot of heart to do that, and I'm glad that he did it. It's just that, I guess we gotta learn how to speak up, for ourselves. And when things happen, like, don't wait till it's too late. Like, if something happens to you, somebody rape you, molest you, do something like that, I think you should just come out right away and just, put it out there. And I know a lot of people, they say it's scary and it's a hard thing to do, but at least now we got social media, we got so many ways to get it out there where you don't have to necessarily go and speak to nobody. You can, like, put it out there some way, send a message, do something, but definitely put it on the forefront. Like I said, I don't know nothing about it. It hasn't happened to me. I'm grateful, I guess. Nothing like that never happened to me. I never had a situation. But I do hear about it a lot, so
yeah,
definitely.
And there's a stigma attached to it. So whereas women don't have that same stigma, it seems like men do. You know what I mean? And it really affects the way you treat everyone in your life, after that. So.
But at the same time, I don't give a person a pass because something happens to them in their life, they go do it to somebody else neither. Because, sometimes, like, stuff like that happen and they grow up to become that person that go do it to somebody else. And that, to me, that need to stop, because just because it happens to you don't mean you need to keep it going.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
So that's how I feel about that stuff. Hopefully, in 2021, because of all the ways to communicate, people are starting to slow down with that stuff. And I do definitely think that it's happening, because even when you look at the R. Kelly situation, Bill Cosby situation, people are starting to speak out about this stuff. And I think that now that the people who are doing it see that people are starting to speak out about it, they starting to slow down a little bit.
I hope so.
But, because I heard some real messed up stuff in my life. So, I mean, hopefully that gets better with that.
Yeah.
As far as, like I said, I haven't heard about it, but this is my first time hearing about it. And I did hear about some other stuff happen to a few other members that was in those kind of groups, those boy groups. And maybe that's why they don't last. I don't know.
Maybe that's why they were formed in the first place. I think that a lot of predators, they seek those type of situations, like boy groups, or they try to, work at a daycare or a school.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? Which is spooky.
It's pretty sad and crazy, yeah.
It's real spooky and it's real scary. But the main thing that I think he did, Rasby himself, is he took the stigma away, because because if you're the first to come out on something, there's going to be a second, a third, a fourth, and a fifth. Yeah. We just need someone to come out and be honest and just say, because a lot of men have been molested.
Well, I'm fortunate.
In reality.
I'm fortunate that it ain't happened to me or none of my brothers. I mean, I'm sorry for whoever happened to, but I didn't have to live through it, so I can't say too much on it. But just if I felt like it did happen to me, I would want somebody else probably be the first one to say something about it because it's kind of a hard thing to do.
It is hard.
Make sure y'all check in for every episode that we do. We're going to keep them coming.